In 1 week, early ballots will begin hitting the mail here in Arizona, marking the final stretch for candidates and their campaigns to reach out to voters. So how different has COVID-19 made the 2020 campaign, and are Republicans and Democrats using the same strategies? To answer these questions, we turn to ABC 15 data analyst Garrett Archer.
In less than 10 days, about 80% of Arizona's 4 million voters will have a ballot mailed to them. Candidates and their consultants know every day after that, the pool of available votes begins to shrink as more ballots pour into county election offices. But they also know it's the best time to get in front of voters. How are they getting in front of voters? It appears most are taking cues from their party's presidential nominee. Donald Trump has been to Arizona 5 times this year. When you account for high-profile campaign surrogates, 6 times in the past 2 weeks. Joe Biden has yet to visit the state, and according to the AP, Biden and running mate Kamala Harris made no personal appearances 22 days since being nominated by the Democratic Party.
So Democratic candidates are very aware of the global pandemic that's happening, and the safety and the security of everybody involved in a campaign is their number one priority. So they are doing more of a virtual campaign effort.
Eder Diaz-Martinez is the communications manager for the Maricopa Democratic Party. He tells us that Democrats are working to reach voters through at-home phone banks, social media, and virtual town halls. Meanwhile, Zach Henry, state Republican Party spokesperson, says Republicans are out in the community.
Each candidate, like I said, just has to make the decision that's, best for their district. There's going to be some where it's much easier to hold an event outdoors in a big grassy, area and have a lot of people out there, and there's some where it's got to be indoors because it's super hot.
Both Diaz-Martinez and Henry made a point to mention the parties encourage social distancing. This difference doesn't just come down to the candidates, but to the campaigns themselves. The ground game is how campaigns use volunteers to reach out to voters. It typically involves making phone calls, text messaging, stuffing mailers, and in most years, door knocking. Keith Skipper, spokesman for Trump Victory, the arm of the campaign that handles the ground game, says masks and PPE are the only difference this year.
We are as traditional as can be. I would say the only thing that makes us not so traditional is that we have people wearing masks around the doors.
And it's not just the presidential ground game either. Democratic and Republican field operations going door to door are utilizing PPE to protect their staff, volunteers, and of course, the voters. Megan Cox, a Republican, and Antonio Valdovino, a Democrat, both run ground game campaigns for candidates and political groups. Both said that while more of their clients opted for an approach that was more virtual, all in-person field work is being done with precautions.
Everybody has masks, they're prepared, they have hand sanitizer, and they stand 6 feet back.
Everyone we asked said the same thing when asked if they would go back to a more traditional campaign in 2024. Antonio, however, said it the best.
We most definitely would go back to our traditional field methods, large scale.
Garrett Archer, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right, Garrett Archer, always a wealth of information. Thank you, my friend. Meantime,